Good evening, Curtis families. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules to be with us today. My name is Amber Warren. I'm the PTA president here at Curtis. We're going to go over a couple of topics today. We're going to talk a little bit more in detail about the PTA and what we do. We're going to talk a little bit about the budget, and we're also going to talk about an upcoming deadline that's important. Without further ado, let's get started. The PTA is more than just bake sales. That's what I always like to say anyway. We advocate so that every child in our schools, in our communities, and around the country have equal and safe access to education. We also champion diversity and inclusion efforts. We want to make sure that all kids and everyone at the school is treated with dignity and respect. We fundraise. That's what you hear a lot from us. We're always fundraising. And the reason we do that is because we're raising necessary materials for the school and for your kids. We fundraise things like technology, learning resources, supplies, morale boosters, and development opportunities for our teachers and staff. Finally, we connect families with teachers and with their children to make sure that they get the best education and the best results possible. Back to school forms. You guys got those on your first day, and we're going to talk about those again because the deadline for that is coming up this Friday, September 18th. If you haven't had a chance to do so yet, please visit www.curtispta.org/registration to order t-shirts, join the PTA, make a donation, sponsor a classroom, or even join our directory if you so choose. Finally, we're going to talk about the budget. Emily Gasner, our treasurer for the PTA, is here today to talk a little bit more in detail about our budget. It was a challenging year, but she has a lot of exciting things to mention. Feel free to stay along, and then after you get done, please make sure to visit www.curtispta.org/budget to vote. Thank you. Emily, take us away.
Hello, my name is Emily Gasner, and I am PTA Treasurer for Curtis Fundamental Elementary. So we're going to talk about the budget this year. First, I want to say the budget planning process for this year is uniquely challenging because we have a lot of uncertainty about the year to come. But we have put together, the best plan that we can with what we know now. So the first thing to cover here is that our fundraising area. And notice there has been a reduction in the amount of fundraising income that we are expecting to have this year. And that is largely because the PTA has been unable to be on campus for the first quarter. However, we have made this plan with the thinking that after the first quarter is over, we will be able to return to campus and proceed with other PTA activities. Obviously, if we cannot come back to campus, and so any of these activities and fundraising events are not possible this year, obviously we will be reworking the budget. But for now, the plan is that we will be able to return to campus in the second quarter. So having said that, I still have here a big fundraiser this year. We just decided to group together a possible family fun night / walkathon option. We're not quite sure what the fundraiser will be, but we just have a placeholder there for what we might be able to do. As the time gets closer, we will have more information on what we're allowed to do at the school. And then notice, community activities have, the budget is a little bit less than it was last year because some activities like the back to school splash obviously could not happen this year. So that is where we are thinking we're going to be in terms of overall fundraising. Obviously a little light to last year, but the good news is we have a surplus left over from last year of $33,000, that didn't get spent due to the early closure last year. So that will actually help us, pay for our expenses this year. So let's talk about some of those expenses. So the first one here, first block of items is titled learning, and this is basically a lot of books, readers, other resources that we purchase for the classrooms to support the teachers. Um, to help with the curriculum and student enrichment. The next item here is student services, and we'll do, for example, the PTA gives $900 to the PE department. That helps them purchase new equipment. And also we do some teacher appreciation and volunteer appreciation events throughout the year. Now, moving on to the biggest category for our expenses, you'll see here AV technology support. This is where we budget for purchasing of new technology supplies, and this could be anything from iPads, laptops, walkie-talkies to help with the staff, obviously during car circle and other things. Um, then we have the big one here is student classroom support. And this is where the PTA gives dollars to each teacher's classroom. And they, select what is needed for their classroom, whether it's additional books or, paper, anything like that for their classrooms. We also have professional development. We'll send some teachers to, conferences throughout the year. And here's something I did want to touch on, water filtration system. So you'll notice that was on the budget last year. But what happened is we actually purchased the filtration system itself, but this is a leftover expense from last year where we actually need the county to come and install the water filtration system, and that did not happen last year due to the closure. So we are still, have this expense pending for the county to come and actually install that system that we purchased last year. So then we have some other expenses associated with, PTA supplies, etc. And then just down to some other things with paying our PTA dues to the state Florida PTA, and any bank fees that we might get. And then also our class sponsors. And this, nets out at zero. It's whatever the families donate to the classrooms, and the teachers spend exactly that amount. So if all goes to plan, we will end the year with, a modest surplus of 3,600, which is a comfortable place for us to end the year. Again, keep in mind, this is tentative. We're not sure, 100% sure if we will be allowed back on campus or what the rest of the year is going to look like. But this budget is written with the idea that we will be able to return to campus. And again, if that changes, so will this budget. Okay, that's all for me. Thank you.